CB is an overweight 48-year-old woman from the Winnebago Indian tribe who had high blood sugar and cholesterol levels 3 years ago but didn't follow up with a clinical diagnostic workup. She smokes 2 packs per day and drinks 2 beers most evenings. CB rarely exercises and has tried various fad diets for weight loss which either didn't work or was a temporary fix.
Today, she presents to the Indian Hospital General Practitioner complaining that her left foot has been weak and numb for nearly 3 weeks and that the foot is difficult to flex. Type 2 diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the way one's body metabolizes glucose, an important source of fuel. The body either resists the effects of insulin or doesn't make enough insulin to maintain a balanced glucose level. Although there's no cure for type 2 diabetes, it could be managed by eating healthy, exercising, and maintaining a healthy weight. A physician may also need to prescribe oral medications or insulin to help meet the correct blood glucose levels.
Symptoms include fatigue due to deprivation of sugar, blurred vision when blood sugar is too high, fluid may be pulled from the lenses of your eyes, increased hunger when muscles and organs become depleted of energy due to shortage of insulin to move sugars into cells, increased thirst and frequent urination with fluid being pulled from the tissues when excess sugar is building up in the bloodstream, resulting in drinking more liquids. Risk factors for type 2 diabetes may include weight, inactivity, and age. Being overweight is a primary risk factor. Your body cells are more resistant to insulin when there are more fatty tissues present. Physical activity helps control weight and uses up glucose as energy and makes your cells more sensitive to insulin. When less active, the opposite happens. The risk of type 2 diabetes increases as one gets older, especially after the age of 45. People tend to be less active, lose muscle mass, and gain weight as they get older.
The most common comorbidities in children and adolescents with type 2 diabetes include hypertension, dyslipidemia, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Up to 75% of adults with diabetes also have hypertension, a cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, obstructive sleep apnea, and obesity. Diabetes could also raise risk for certain types of cancer. Some contraindications include exercising at a high intensity due to being 65 pounds overweight and prone to injury with her left foot problems. Avoid taking the dietary supplement glucosamine, which eases the symptoms of osteoarthritis because it increases insulin resistance, which in turn raises blood glucose levels, which is very dangerous for a diabetic.
To help CB manage her metabolic disease, basic nutrition and exercise education is needed in order to change her habits and also debunk any of the fad diets she has tried. Using a food journal or a habit tracker to monitor her activities and daily intakes will help her not only lose weight, but also stay organized. Starting her off slow with some stretching exercises to help with flexibility and perhaps bring back some feeling within her left foot. Lightweight bearing exercises such as weight training, sit to stands, will slowly help the body become sensitive to insulin again to be used up for metabolism.
Type 2 diabetes is one of the top 10 leading causes of death in the U.S., where it affects almost 26 million Americans with 18 million people diagnosed and 7 million still undiagnosed. It's the leading cause of lower limb amputation not related to trauma in the U.S. It is also a major contributor to cardiovascular disease, the number 1 cause of death in the U.S. About 68% of people with diabetes die from cardiovascular disease. In 2012, diabetes cost the nation $245 billion in direct and indirect costs. Type 2 diabetes accounts for 90 to 95% of all diagnosed cases of diabetes.
Life is not so sweet. You cannot feel your feet. Get some help.